Hello, Steve White 79. Just a little thing about some superhero, not quite news, but some issues, some dramas that are happening at the moment. Now, Captain America is in trouble. Um, I sort of had heard that they were doing different versions of Captain America, and people were sort of trashing some of them and talking about that, and it didn't really get my attention that much. But then one issue had a quote that really riled up the alt-right. Basically, I think the scene is that Captain America, someone is trashing immigrants, and Captain America is sort of looking at America and the way that they are treating immigrants and the way they are just politically at the moment. And he says, talking about the American dream, and this was released just before the 4th of July. The first American dream is the one that isn't real. It's one some people expect to just be handed to them, when the truth is it never really existed in the first place. Other cultures, immigrants, we're at our best when we keep no one out. A good dream is shared radically, shared with everyone. When something isn't shared, it can become the American lie. Now, I don't quite understand why all these patriotic people are having a problem with this, because I mean, America was built on immigrants, but we know America has a problem with immigration, where they sort of consider that we're the Americans now. We were all immigrants, but now we're Americans, and we just want to keep America to ourselves. We don't want to let anyone else in. So when someone like Captain America says the American dream should be for everyone, everyone should be able to have it. It should be shared, which is, of course, what a normal person would think. Of course, you want to share the American dream. You want to share the wealth. You want to share the possibilities. Everyone should be able to have a good life and be happy and fulfill their dreams. That's the American dream, that you can go there with nothing and you can become what you want to be. That's what it's all about. I mean, but apparently no, just some people. And if you say that the American dream should be for everyone, then you are somehow some Antifa radical or something. And Antifa actually isn't a bad thing, but you know that the right sort of uses Antifa as an example of a bad thing, when anti-fascism, like, why would anyone be pro-fascism? It's all confusing. But I saw that and I sort of knew it was sort of bubbling under a bit, and I thought maybe Marvel had gone a bit too far with some of their Captain Americas and that, and maybe they were sort of being kind of woke. And then I sort of heard the quote and I'm like, no, that's right. He's talking about the American dream. It should be for everyone. How can anyone have a problem with that? Well, of course, the right do. So that's one thing. Now, another thing, which is sort of an example, which they sort of have a right to be upset about a little bit, I guess, is Black Widow. Now, Black Widow is falling under the mistake of marketing itself as woke. Now, woke, I'm not using those terms, it's woke in those terms. Because most people use woke to describe, most people who use the term woke are usually racist, homophobic, misogynistic people who have a problem with progression and with equality and representation, everything. But then some people take it so far that it does become its own thing. So you have your extreme left as well as your extreme right. But yeah, they're making the same mistake of marketing their film as anti-men. Terminator Dark Fate did it. Harley Quinn did it. And there have been a few films lately who've done this, who are marketing their film as an ultra-feminist film that hates men and men aren't welcome. This film, their line was, oh, we're going to put men in their place. Now, if you're a man, you probably don't want to be put in your place, because being put in your place means smacking someone down, basically. And if you're saying that, and that's your marketing to your main audience, because the main audience for superhero films is men, and what they want to do is replace that with women, but women just don't like superheroes as much, so it's never going to happen. And they keep trying to, they keep doing the same thing. They keep marketing for women only, telling men they're not welcome, it's not for them, and then the films don't do well, and they say, oh, misogynistic men didn't go and see it. You told me not to. Your marketing did. Because I've seen a couple of these films and they're not these uber feminist, rabid sort of rant movies. They're actually just normal action films, but the way they're marketed in this way. and it's the marketing that kills them. As far as I know, from what I've heard of Black Widow so far, it's fine. It's not a big uber feminist rant or something. It's just an action film. There's some criticism I've heard, but they're not from people who are all objective, so I have no idea if there's any, so I can't make any decisions on it myself. I haven't seen it, and I'll probably watch it tomorrow or something. Yeah. So I just want to talk about that because I thought it was absolutely I just couldn't get my head around for a few minutes the fact that the right, the Tucker Carlsons, all those people are upset because Captain America dared to say that everyone should have access to the American dream. And Fox News had Dean Cain. They brought out their left wing, their right wing. I keep getting the left and right mixed up sometimes. It's not good. The right wing, they brought out their right wing superheroes, Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo, who are both huge Trumpers and huge right wing guys. And they're going on about how these people hate America, the people who are talking about, the people who are writing sort of Captain America, and it's all, woke. And I'm like, well, how is the American dream being accessible to everyone in America wrong? Because you're elites, obviously, and you want it only to be for white people or rich people or whoever, whatever group you see yourself in, which confuses me a bit with Dean Cain because he's part Asian. His family, presumably, once upon a time, were immigrants. Like, they obviously weren't originally born in America way back when because no Asian people were. They all immigrated. So did all the white people. So how he... Obviously, his ancestors would have had to fight for the American dream because racism would have stopped it from being handed to them easily. Why would he be on that side of that argument? I don't understand it. Kevin Sorbo, he's a white guy, I get it. But Dean Cain, I don't get it. So yeah, always disappointed in Dean. I met him. He was lovely in person. He was really sweet. Lots of hugs, a really nice guy. But then I find out he's a Trump supporter and he actually would support people who would kill me. So I don't understand how those two things compute, how you can be so gay friendly in person but support someone who is practically a Nazi and would actually just take away all my rights and just get rid of us because we're not, straight and white. So it's just really bizarre to try and work out these people. So I saw that, I saw the article, I saw the quote, I saw the Fox News thing, I saw Young Turk's video on it, and then I was aware of what was happening with Black Widow, and I'm like, you know what, they are marketing this the same way, and the right-wing Fandom Menace fans are reacting the same way they did to Dark Fate and Harley Quinn, and you're going to go down that road because not only are you selling yourself as woke, you're also trying to sell yourself in a post-pandemic climate when cinema hasn't really recovered, and it's probably not going to because a lot of the cinemas closed and won't be opening up. And the studios have realised they can make enough money out of streaming. They don't need to have the movies go into the cinema. They don't care about the cinemas. They don't care about the audience who wants the cinemas and cinematic experience. They just want to pump out as much content as possible and get as much people subscribed to their services, and they don't care about films being good anymore and actually giving someone a cinematic experience anymore. So they really need to be really clever with the films they make and how they market them. And this is not. This film is being marketed like it was 2019, and it's 2021. It's not. I'm predicting not doom, but at least a lot of struggles for Black Widow to do a lot of money in this climate with that marketing. We'll see, because people are saying it's going to be huge. Now people are saying no. Marvel, you're not going to have Marvel films open like they used to anymore. The age of the giant blockbuster and the comic movie blockbuster are over because there just aren't enough cinemas to support that sort of film anymore unless they all slowly come back. So I just want to talk about those two things, and they weren't quite enough to do a video on their own, but I talked for 10 minutes about the two things. I probably could have done a 5-minute video on each. Whatever. I feel better after venting about just the ridiculousness of the right-wing response to that quote from Captain America and the stupidity of marketing a film against your main audience, which they keep doing in Hollywood. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go. Thanks. Bye.